Give it up for Bone Doggy one more time. All right. Okay, so we're doing something a little bit differently today, but I wanted to do a message called Health. I was kind of thinking back on health for a little bit, and this is kind of the pinnacle verse on health that everybody kind of always goes to in the Bible. Physical training is good, but training for godliness is much better, promising benefits in this life and in the life to come. So I remember reading this years ago thinking, okay, so I'm going to have my physical training and my spiritual training. I'm going to do them both, and when I have them both, then I'm going to be like, super spiritual. I'm going to be able to wear like a cape to church or something like that. That's when I've got it. So my goal was, okay, be in the gym every day, once a day, and read my Bible once a day, and that was going to be the deal. Well, I've never been a reader. I've never liked to read, so picking up the Bible and reading it, that was hard for me. Picking up any book was hard for me. And so I had one day where I was just tired and I didn't have a lot of time, and I was like, okay, I can do one. I can go to the gym or I can read my Bible. I'm going to go to the gym. And I decided I was going to go to the gym, and as I'm walking out the door, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. And I realized what this verse meant, because I was going to get my spirituality by achieving that physical goal. And so I started to hit what this verse was talking about, where the physical training is good, but the spiritual training means much more. So I put the physical training on a shelf, didn't touch it, said forget it, whatever. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm like watching The Biggest Loser eating cheese. Like, that's just how it goes. And so I focused on the spiritual aspect, which was great for a while. And then like these last few months, I was sick a lot. I don't know about y'all, but like everybody was sick. And I was sick like 4 times in 2 months. I would get sick, be better for like 2 days, and then I get sick again, be better for like 2 days, and I get sick again. And so I'm in my room and I'm feeling like the Grim Reaper is like right here, and I'm going, oh, I love you, Jesus. But I'm feeling really bad, and I'm supposed to have life and life more abundantly in the spirit and all this stuff, but I feel like I'm going to die. What's going on? And I felt like God was speaking to me in that, saying, you've got to take care of the vessel. And the vessel of the Holy Spirit. The analogy that I keep going back to is you take whatever race car driver it may be, Marion Andretti, Earnhardt, whoever you like, it doesn't really matter, and you put them in a busted up Camry. I don't care how good they drive, they're not going to win the race. So you've got to have the right vessel. Not that that's the most important thing, but to release the Holy Spirit in your life to a whole nother level, you've got to be able to take care of the vessel. So I wanted to have somebody come in today and talk, because like I said, Biggest Loser eating cheese, that's me. I'm no expert in this stuff. And so I wanted to have somebody else come in that we could do a little Q&A with, kind of banter a little bit, and try and figure out some health things, and try and figure out how we can better take care of our vessel. Now, I didn't want to focus so much on how do I look better, because here at C-Square we're all about value and identity. And the deal is if you're constantly trying to figure out how do I look better, sometimes that's something deeper. There are supermodels who want to look better. I want to focus on how do I feel better. And if you're worried about how do I look better, you focus on how you feel better. The natural byproduct is you're going to start feeling better about yourself. Okay, so I wanted somebody who can understand the health side of it, but as I said, value and identity, I wanted somebody also understood the psychology and the psychology of health and these patterns and the way that these things go, and somebody who was a great woman of God. So without any more ado, if I could please have up Miss Kelly Alonso Feathers. Hey, Zach, where's the other microphone, kid? I need 2. Yeah, we packed it up? Okay, my bad. We're Alright, so we're going to put Kelly right here. I'm going to be right here. And we're going to... How are you, Kelly?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Jake?
She's wonderful.
Can you guys hear me?
Anyways, here we go. You good? Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Ready, set, go. You good?
Testing.
Okay, can you hear her?
Okay.
You good?
Okay.
We are so on top of this. Alright. Okay. So yeah, so what's up?
So you want me to start?
No, I got it.
Okay.
No. Do you want to start? Do you have something to say?
I love Jake's analogy of the vessel, that our body's a vessel. It's just like a race car, and so whatever you put into it, you get out of it. And I also, related to health, I just think it's a really great way to look at it. Like, we're given so many gifts from God. Some people have the gift of music, like these guys. Some people have the gift of, working with animals. Some people have a gift of kind of fill in the blank. And I just kind of look at, health and being active and, trying to eat the best foods that you can is like one other way that you can take, your gifts from God, because this is the gift that He's given us, and it's a way that you can kind of maybe minister to other people or even connect with other Christians. And you're just kind of showing, you're giving praise to God, but you're giving praise to God by using the gift that He's given you, this amazing body that we have. We can trash it, we can put bad things in it, we can, sit on the couch and watch The Biggest Loser and eat cheese. But of course, everything we talk about, all in moderation. You can't, you have to be happy and you have to do everything in moderation. But I just wanted to say, it's kind of, look at it as a gift that you're given, and it's another way that you can show your praise and worship.
Beautiful. Can y'all hear her? Because these microphones kind of got to be close to our face. Are y'all? Is it picking up on her?
Okay,
good.
I'll get closer.
No, because straight up, okay, perfect example. Zach Balch, who's going to do worship after this, he can sing like an angel. Like I think Zach has like a spiritual gift to do worship. Like he really does. But if Zach is so sick he can't leave his house. You know what I'm saying? So he's got the spiritual gift already in him, but if he doesn't take care of the vessel until that he can get here and perform, he's not able to reach that highest potential. So I love I'm so excited. Let's go. Let's do this. Okay. So first thing I want to ask you about is sleep. Okay, college students, I don't sleep most of the time unless I'm really deliberate about it. Seriously, we've got like 8, 9 a.m. class, which means way more early now in college than it did in high school. And we're working at all, ungodly hours because Pizza Hut just wants to break our souls and work till 4.
Meal.
Yeah, we're so stuck in this schedule that says we'll sleep when we're dead. And I just want to talk a little bit about sleep and kind of the importance of that, how much you think we should be getting, should we make that a priority in our lives, so on and so forth.
Yes, sleep is absolutely needed because your body needs to recharge. So, the medical gods, I think, recommend 6 to 9 hours depending on the person. But if we kind of look at, our cycle of health, we can't just eat the right foods, we also have to be active too. And obviously we can't just be active and eat the right foods without sleeping as well. So it's kind of, you eat better, you exercise regularly. By the end of the day, if you're going and you're getting that extra activity, you're going to be tired. And so, trying to balance that sleep is absolutely necessary. And, some people will need more than others. And, that afternoon nap, if you've been going all day, studying all night, it's okay to take a nap. Don't sleep for 9 hours, in the afternoon. That's probably not good. But, if you feel that your body really needs a nap, you should take one every now and then.
So, that was going to be my next question. So, napping can be beneficial. It actually is going to help, even if it's like 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it may be. It actually can help.
You just have to listen to your body. And it's kind of one of those things, to each their own. Some people need more sleep than others. Some people may need a nap in the afternoon. Some people, may not. So you just kind of have to listen to your body. I know it's kind of a gimme answer, but really all in moderation is really the key to health. So, just make sure that you're listening to your body and giving your body what it needs.
Beautiful. Now, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I am really, really broke. I have no money. No money, no money. All right, I got like a little bit. So if I'm gonna go to the grocery store and I'm gonna get something to eat or something, I'm getting stuff that's $1. I'm getting the stuff that's like the chicken feet, rather than the chicken breast. You know what I'm saying? And so I've got to get what's cheapest. So what's cheapest is not necessarily what's healthiest. And so are there some kind of cheaper alternatives that we could be buying with our very limited incomes here in college that would be a little bit more beneficial to our diets?
Of course. So I think Jake printed it out. I don't know where they are, but I actually kind of made you guys a little fun cheat sheet. And I wrote down about 10 or 12 little kind of like staples for your kitchen. And you can keep these things, you can go to Sam's or you can go to Walmart and almost buy them in bulk. And depending on what it is, put it in the freezer or just keep it in the pantry. And they're kind of staples. So just to give examples, buy whole grain rice in bulk. That's something that you can cook with. Stir-fried veggies, it can just be a side. You can put it on soup. Different things like that. And so I have stir-fried, I'll just go down the list, but you guys have this. Whole grain pasta, there's 10 or 12 different ways you can eat it hot, you can eat it cold, you can pair it, with different things. And buy frozen veggies, as long as they don't have the sauce kind of frozen in there with them, frozen veggies are great. You can just get some kind of oil-based dressing and natural, natural spices and things like that, garlic that you can throw in there with them. But, go to Walmart and buy this big bag. Our big bags of frozen vegetables, broccoli, they have the stir-fry mixes that are already there, just really whatever is your kind of preference. So you guys, okay, is that better?
Yeah, that's good. Okay, now, I've got friends from high school who are like the jocks, whatever. I'm over it. But they worked out like a lot, and like their joints are already wearing out and stuff. And so I'll go to the gym with like one of those guys, and they'll start working out, and they're like falling apart. And I'm convinced if I work out like that, I'm gonna die. And so I don't want to go and completely kill myself and go until I throw up or something like that. But they keep telling me that I'm not going to do anything unless I'm doing that. So is exercising to that extent the only thing that's going to be beneficial to us, or is there a nice happy medium?
Of course not. There's a nice happy medium. And a bad thing about, kind of following your, I hate to say gym rat like it's a bad thing, but your buddy who, does go every week and that's their thing, is that you may go one time and then you're deathly sore and you're like, I'm never doing this again and I feel so terrible, and this thing that was supposed to make me feel good, now I feel terrible because I'm sore. I'm never going to the gym. But you don't have to be in a gym to be physically active. So if you kind of look at it as more as physical activity rather than like, death-defying Lance Armstrong exercise, it'll be a little bit more pleasing. So I mean, it's, you can take a walk, you can go on a bike ride, you can go, swimming. I mean, I know UNT has an amazing fitness center in here, but you don't have to be in there. You can find a rock climbing wall, you can, take the stairs with your friends. Just really focusing on being, less sedentary and more active is really a good thing. Any kind of activity is good. There's no activity that's really bad for you. So it's kind of look at it that way. Something is always better than nothing.
Beautiful. Yeah. Now I have a 12 o'clock class that I'm having trouble making. Because I can't, I'm kind of kidding, kind of not. And they keep telling me that caffeine is what's going to do me in. Apparently I've got like 10 of those. But so what would be like a dietary thing that I could change that would help me to wake up in the morning that might be a healthier kind of alternative?
Well, we kind of go back to what I said about, trying to eat naturally, eat healthy, exercise regularly, and getting that sleep. And then your body will naturally want to be awake during these hours because that's what we're made to do. We're made to be awake during our waking hours. But, some of the caffeine substitutes, like the Monsters and things like that, those are just not, they're not good for you. And, always whenever people look at food and caffeine and sodas and things like that, if you're ever wondering if something's good or bad, look at the ingredients, and if you can't pronounce them, then it's not food. So that's generally a good way to look at that, like soda. And I'm not saying don't ever drink a soda, Everyone, if it's your vice, you have to give in sometimes, otherwise, we'll be like the supermodels that'll be so unhappy. So you have to give in to your vices. But, apples and fresh fruits and things like that, that has natural sugar in it, which obviously gives you that energy. So sometimes if you need a pick-me-up, rather than grabbing the Monster, let's grab an extra apple or, some orange juice or something like that has natural sugars in that. And, coffee and teas, they have natural caffeine in it. So that's obviously as long as we don't get like the caramel macchiato with extra whip, extra espresso, all that. But, a regular coffee with, are we pointing at somebody, or pointing at Jake?
No, it's okay.
Regular coffee, there's also natural sweeteners. If you do like a little bit, there's the stevia, there's Truvia, which is still sugar, but it's natural. It's not, processed like some of the Sweet and Low or Equal or whatever the yellow packet is.
Okay, so if you can't pronounce it, it's not food.
Right.
Okay, does the same thing work for other things? Like, can you tell my chemistry teacher if I can't pronounce it, it's not necessary?
It's not my area. I can't speak to that.
I had to take a shot. But, okay, all right, now let's say I'm trying to get in better shape. Maybe I want to lose some weight or put some muscle on or something like that. What's some dietary changes I can make for things like that if I want to kind of shape myself?
Well, I'm going to go back to my little tip sheet. And this is obviously just something that I live by. It's not, there's a million different diets, there's a million different fads. And I guess kind of what I promote is really just like a lifestyle change. So don't even say it's a diet, it's really a lifestyle change. And if you don't kind of change your whole life, if you just change it for 2 weeks, it's going to help you for that 2 weeks, and then you're going to go back to, whatever you did before. So really it has to be a lifestyle change in order to make an impact. And so you really just want to focus on your health and feeling better rather than, your waist size. Obviously, things like that will come later once you're following this lifestyle. But I'll go back to our little tip sheet. So I have some little pre-workout snacks, and then I have some post-workout snacks. So and you guys can read over that. I won't read through those, but just, it's almost funny to say, but you can use common sense when you're thinking about eating, And same thing with portion size. A lot of times the good good way to judge it is like your fist. Your fist is a good kind of guess of what the portion size should be. I don't know if that helped, but again, we have all of our tips. So, you know, your cheeses and yogurts and fruits and really just fresh ingredients. And, you know, when you guys go to the grocery store, you know, the real food is on the outside. So think about the grocery store next time you go in there. You know, you have your whole grain breads, you have your fruits, you have your veggies, you have your milks, your juices, and then what's in the middle? What's in the middle? Not a rhetorical question.
Awesome stuff. What?
Cereals, freezer stuff. Well, freezer stuff's not always bad, but just processed food. Things that come in a bag, things that come in a can, things that come in a box. So that's not natural. That's not how God made it. That's not, you know, how it came out of the ground. So, and I steal from another author. I have his book over here, Michael Pollan. He says that, you know, think about your great-great-grandmother. Think about if you're telling her about this awesome quesadilla bowl that you got from Taco Bell or this Big Mac double cheeseburger that you're telling her about. She has no idea what that is. So if your great-great-grandmother has never heard of it, it's probably not food. Because if it wasn't, you know, if it wasn't alive or it wasn't around, you know, 50, 60 years ago, then it's probably some kind of, you know, human-made composition that is probably not food, so.
I like it. All right, so now I've heard of all these crazy diets and stuff where people are trying to lose weight so they just stop eating. And you and me were kind of talking a little bit about that before this. Gonna give me the rundown about how that is a complete and total myth if you just stop eating.
So your body needs fuel. It's insane when people say that I'm gonna diet, I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm just not gonna eat. That actually slows your metabolism down and it makes you gain weight. And so it's really, so whenever somebody's saying they're not gonna eat, they're gonna lose weight, they're actually gonna gain weight. Your body needs fuel in order to recharge, in order to do anything. And so, you know, a lot of people who are actually trying to lose weight will do kind of like the small 5 meals a day. So you're eating like all day long, and so you have little snacks that give your body energy. And so you need to, it actually increases your metabolism, just like eating spicy food or eating, you know, an apple or things like that. It just kind of gives you that extra little kick. So I would recommend eating food, and not eating food.
Beautiful. Okay.
Food is good.
Now Kelly's going to be around to be able to talk to her or, you know, get to know her and everything. Really cool ladies, and y'all can ask her any questions or anything that
He calls me lady too.
Anyways, but yeah, so we're about to have Zach Balch come up and do much longer worship this week, unless we've just really eaten up so much time. But anyway, so just to put a bow on this, guys. So we're not talking about the physical, you know, training to being superior or anything like that. But if we can focus on taking care of our vessel, we release the Holy Spirit to do even more in our lives and raise this whole new spiritual level. So thank you so much, Kelly, for coming.
Thank you guys.
I want to pray really quick, and then we're going to jump right into Zach Balch. So dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together. Help us to improve our vessels so that we can release the Holy Spirit in our lives like never before. We ask it always in Jesus' name.